All right, so our second half offensive breakdown. I'm going to let the video run while I do my little intro. Please, guys, once again, as I say, or I'm trying to start saying more, please like, follow, share the videos, subscribe to the channel, things like that. Follow my social medias. Try to post the links and things there. The more I can grow this channel, the better the content can become. I'll be able to, to be able to do more. The more people that tune in, the more people that are sharing, the bigger the channel grows, the more I'm going to be able to do for our very favorite football team, the Gamecocks. Um, Starting with the first play of the second half here. Um, just another kind of zone read dive play here. Nothing significant, to go on about. We saw a lot of this in the first half as well. Just continuing on the trend of, play calling wasn't really any different. So let's see how that continues to be a factor in the second half. I do know that we slowed down in our offensive attack as far as production in the second half. Um, we only got one more touchdown in the second half. And so, let's see if what the difference is in the first half and the second half. But this first play is basically the same. You need some decent blocking from your O line and create enough of a hole. We get a few yards. A few yards is always a good game, guys. A few yards is always a good game. All right, so we've kind of seen this. Austin Stogner coming kind of out of the backfield and um, on a little swing pass here. It's certainly not a different play, and if we continue using them too much, it starts to become obvious, I guess. And in this particular instance, it looks like it's kind of obvious. What could I say? Where's the blocking breakdown? There's no offensive lineman out there to block, so we can't say that they messed it up. Where the wide receiver is supposed to stay back here. No, they were supposed to run a route, I'm assuming. So then the issue definitely would come back down to play calling here, But I mean, hey, every play is not going to result in a positive gain. If it did, once again, like I said, if every play was perfect, we wouldn't need a first and 10. We wouldn't need a first down marker and chains because we would just score on the first play every drive. So defense also has to do work and do their thing. So what we'll see in the second half, is did Marcus Satterfield do any adjustments? And obviously probably based on the fact that we didn't get much offensive production in the second half. Possibly not. Earlier in most of the games this season, it's been, I guess halftime adjustments because we always end up getting more offense in the second half than the first half. This particular game we've gotten more of our offense in the first half. What I definitely want to see out of our coaches, and that's sides of the ball, because if you listen to my breakdowns, is to make more adjustments in the moment versus having to wait till halftime, wait till after the game, wait till loss, wait till make be able to adjust to what they're adjusting to. You know, just because these plays worked earlier doesn't mean they're going to work now because the defense is going to start adjusting. So we're going to have to see what adjustments Satterfield makes going forward here. All right, so on 3rd and 8 here, we're coming out of the huddle extremely late, especially considering, and Austin Stogner looks a little confused here, but especially he still looks confused, especially considering this play was going to have all this motion and stuff in it. We come out of the huddle pretty late, and why are we coming out of the huddle late? Is that on the quarterback? Is that players didn't get on the field quick enough? Coach didn't get the play call in fast enough. That's going to be hard for me to know. But what I can tell you is, and this is happening more than once in this game, is we're running out of time. And one of our last possessions of the game ends in a fumble. where we got rushed. The ball gets snapped into Amarian Brown's leg as he's motioning because we were running out of time, and it could have been disastrous. It wasn't. So, and I don't want to look too far ahead, but that's going to continue to be a theme in this game. We've got to watch out for that. Uh, Also, apparently we lost a yard between the timeout that they just took. Like, we lost it on the previous play, but they just now marked it off. It was hilarious. When I was doing this, I go, wait, it was 3rd and 9 now. It was just 3rd and 8. We didn't do anything. I had to go check and make sure I had the right play. We did. It just they had marked it. Now this is, it's decent play. We put a bunch over to the left side. Um, we get two of the players going on a deeper route, trying to clear out, underneath a little bit so we can get this pass over here to Brooks. I feel like Brooks, and I heard some other people say he probably could have gotten the first down here. Sometimes, it's hard to second guess. These guys are in the heat of the moment. But they do definitely, let's slow it down just a little bit as we get over there. All right, right here. Yeah, I mean, if he just turns and cuts it, he could have probably got the first down right here. Let's yeah, he, for whatever reason, he decides to run towards the defender like he's trying to make a play on the defender, get back to the inside, and trying to make a bigger play. And that's situational awareness on his part. He needs to get to the stick real quick, get the first down, and keep our drive alive. Can't fault the play calling here when the play worked, but the receiver messes up. And if you look, these guys are back, so he's got a lot of room to work with. This is where we've been getting burnt on the defensive side of the ball for us, is where their DBs are back and they're getting the underneath passes. So, can't argue with the play calling there, right? Because, obviously the pocket holds. We look at Spencer's head and say, hey, what's going on? Is he looking in one direction? Well, he's going to be looking in one direction because everybody's going to end up on one side of the play. You already have, you got your I believe this is your tight end here. We got, tight end here. So you got 5. So all of your receivers are going to be in a bunch to the left. There's nobody on the right for him to look to. They're all going to take off on that left side. So of course Spencer's going to be looking over there. I do notice though, very good Spencer. Watch before he looks over there. Very good, Spencer. Thank you, buddy. Watch him look right. This is not because he's looking for a receiver over there. There's no receivers to throw to. He checked his line pressure first. And if he knows all of his receivers are to the left, it makes sense for him to look right first to check the pressure from the right, because he knows he's going to be turning to the left afterwards anyway. He'll be able to see the pressure coming from that side. Spencer did a great job with his eyes here. This was a concern for me coming in this game because Missouri it had gone so far backwards. So good job on Spencer there. Very good, buddy. Very good. Play was good. Pass was good. The receiver messed this one up. Jalen, you got to do a little bit better there, buddy. Sorry. You've been one of my favorites this year, so I'm not picking at you, but for breaking it down and looking at this play, it could have been a first down and it could have kept our guys on the field. All right, so this is going to be a swing pass kind of play. I know there's a lot of so many swing passes. We haven't really had, from what I remember from my first half breakdown. Sorry, I've had a lot going on since I did that yesterday. I believe we didn't throw them too heavily or whatnot, in the first half. But we had them, and that was something I was looking for because everybody said plays were so different. No, I mean, now have we done this to Leggett? No, and so that's different. Probably that we're getting it to Leggett, but we've been trying to get more. We complain about not getting. Why hasn't Leggett got the touches? But the only issue with that, guys, you got to remember, if Leggett's getting the touches, somebody else isn't. Now, at the same time, who's been your hot guys? When Leggett's been hot, so of course we're going to design some plays to Leggett. And it doesn't get much, but I mean, we get good 3-4 yards out of this. So hey, I'm not going to argue with the play here, but I will definitely state it's nothing, anything crazy different or anything from what we've seen in the first half or other games. Okay, next play. I mean, we got the 4 yards on the previous play, and what's to say? We get some good blocking here. The only thing I can say about this is it's Vandy. Are we proving anything by being able to Vandy around or create? Yeah, wow, push. Look at the push. Look at the. I think that's mostly. Is that just tight ends? Let me see this again. Well, it's a tight end and an offensive tackle. They just go ham on that guy. On both those guys, they just really threw them back. But yeah, I mean that's very physical blocking from our two guys right there to open that play up. So that makes a huge difference. And Juju just runs with it. Great job. Uh, I don't know what's happening on this play. Because it's hard for me to know. Is this a read option? Was there a read option? It looks more like a play action, or maybe it was an RPO, and Spencer saw this pressure coming and pulls the ball quickly. Maybe he could have given the ball to Juju there if it was an RPO. I can't confirm it was an RPO though. The line didn't really break down or anything here. A lot of people go, "Oh, Spencer was on the run. The line failed." It's not the line here. If you watch the linemen pick up their blocks, because it looks like this read option. That's where I kind of go. Maybe this is some sort of read option thing because there's no containment over here on the edge. Usually on read option thing, somebody is kind of meant to slide through on one edge or the other, so that you take that guy, you let that guy take out one of your players, and then But yeah, I mean, maybe a block was missed here potentially, but I can't blame that on the lineman because where the pressure's coming from right there is right off it's a cornerback blitz there. And I mean, that's going to happen sometimes because the lineman's focusing forward. He's seeing this guy coming in. He's got to pick up. He can't just let that guy go by, right? So he's got to pick up that block. Maybe if he could have slid over, maybe if we could have checked off some slide protection or something there ahead of time, maybe that could have been different. But if you notice, I mean, nobody really penetrates through the line. The linemen don't get pushed around or anything like that. This guy was pull blocking too. And so was Nate Atkins. Nate Atkins kind of misses a block here. If Juju was supposed to be blocking, he misses a block there. Spencer Rattler saves our butts on this one and just sees everything coming and gets out of the pocket and throws the ball away. Okay, so good job, Spencer, man. Good job, Spencer. Spencer's playing great this game, guys. I mean, I have not, you know, I said it was probably his best game of the season. Um, and you go, oh, well, we're comparing that. He's playing against Vandy, and I get that. But it's not who we're playing. It's how he's playing. Because in the same play earlier in the year, he doesn't pick up on the people blitzing in. He doesn't get out of the pocket, in this situation. Uh, Other different things that have happened this year, he tries to force it or something when he just needed to throw the ball away, So that's not just this is a Vandy thing. Because I mean, sure enough, Florida's probably going to have some plays that they're going to get through like that, guys, and we're going to need Spencer to execute the same way as we saw here. So I'm not, you can't just go, oh, well, because it's Vandy. No, I mean, because it's Vandy, we were able to maybe make bigger plays and stuff downfield or something, or our lineman held up. But that doesn't change Spencer scanning the field better and all those other things that I've been pointing out. So, no, Spencer's playing really good this game. Okay, it's another little swing play here, and I don't have a problem with it because I mean you're not overly done. I mean, we have a downfield play sometimes, and maybe that's a big difference in this game. Now we do get a penalty on this. There's a holding. I believe this right here became a holding. Maybe it was here. There was a holding here. Might have been on Van. I'm not listening to the announcers to find out which number it was, but there was a holding, sets us back. I mean, but we would have gotten a few yards out of that play. So I mean, we can't overdo the swing passes and this wide receiver screens, but I am seeing a lot better mix in this game, even now in the second half. And let's talk about so far what's stalling our drive. We had a 3rd and 8 with a good play call for me. To me, it was a good play call. Um, that we didn't get the first down because Jalen tried to do a little too much instead of being aware that he needed to get to the sticks. We've got a big 2nd down play right here after, the 1st down play got blown up. And Spencer had to escape the pocket and throw the ball away. So we're in a second 10 situation. We need to get some yardage here so we can try to get back on, on the, you know, oh God, what do they say, behind the sticks or whatever. Get back on track basically for the 1st down. I'm missing my word here. I'll figure it out as I go. I usually say it and I can't get it right now. Geez, I am a little sleep deprived. It's been a weird day. This is why my videos are coming out later in the day than I wanted them to. So let's go on to the next play so we can see what happens on our 2nd and 20 after this holding call. Now, I'm not going to lie, I feel like Spencer is locked in on Nate Atkins here. Um, I feel like, when a lot of times when we see, wait, yeah, like the man he moves a little bit and goes in motion. I feel like it becomes a little obvious sometimes that for us that the guy that went in motion a lot of times is the guy getting the ball. So, maybe this is a play trying to be designed to get Nate Atkins the ball so that we get away from our tendencies. I'm gonna stop right there on that. Why isn't this Jaheim Bell? Okay, I am not trying to take away from anything Nate Atkins. Okay, and he's been great at blocking for us. We've seen some big plays because of Nate, but we've also said, hey, Jaheim Bell is doing better at blocking. Jaheim's got to be in there more because maybe Jaheim gets more out of this play than Nate did, and I'm not saying he does or doesn't. I mean, what I'm going to end up telling y'all is I don't like Rattler's choice of target. I do feel like he locked in on Nate. I feel like this was a forced play to Nate. Um, I could say, well, he's only locked in on this area. And I mean, there could be an argument there. Somebody could come back and say, well, you don't know if he was locking in on Nate. I don't. I can't say for sure, but it just there's a feeling there for me that because Nate was the guy in motion, and how I've seen our play calling that the guy in motion a lot of times is a target. That maybe this was intended to get Nate in there to get the tendencies that we don't throw the Nate, and then you'll see though this player was a lot more open and a little bit more downfield, than Nate was, and I think that's Josh Van. Maybe I don't know. I'd have to go back and look, but I just I don't want to blame it on. I don't want to blame it on Spencer in this particular scenario either, because if the play calling said, "I want you to get it Nate Atkins right here," then you put the pressure on the guy to try to get the ball to Nate Atkins. Then that's not necessarily his fault. Now, at the same time, I wouldn't imagine they would say, "You got to get it to Nate right here," because on this little play, I don't know. It's a hard argument to make, but I definitely see that Spencer's locked in on that side of the field, and I do feel like he could have had more out of passing it to this guy. He's cutting across on a crossing route. Yeah, his defender is right back here, but I mean, Nate's defender's right there. So if you could get it to Nate, you can get it to whoever this is. I think it's Van. It might be Wells. Hell, it could be Brooks. It's hard to tell when I don't see their numbers and stuff. But I feel like we could have got more out of this play for sure. Hard for me to go, hey, who did this, but it does go back to one other theme. I do feel like Spencer feels safer throwing the ball to the sideline versus throwing the ball in the middle of the field. Okay, so I hear a lot of people going, we don't have enough pass plays in the middle of the field, and I'll come back and say, well, they were there. There were guys there in the middle of the field, but Spencer didn't throw it there. So I do want people to keep that in mind. You know that we see. I've seen guys in the middle of the field that were open, and and then I'll end up in arguments over it too. Like that's not true. And I'm like, yeah, there were guys in the middle of the field, and Spencer didn't see them. I think he feels safer going to the sideline. So um, it is what it is. All right, so next play, 3rd and 14. Obviously, some big things here. Uh, we get Gene Bell coming out of the backfield, and this would have been Marshawn Lloyd another time. Um, it's more like a little swing pass kind of deal. It's not a screen, as you see. There's no lineman blocking. Um, the play opens up almost like it was a screen, but it wasn't a screen. It's just Jaheim comes out of the backfield. Now, obviously, there's a lot of pressure uh, coming through this line. Part of that was the hole that Jaheim had to run through. One of the guys is running through that. Then you got the guy coming in from the edge. So, but we didn't need long for the play. And maybe this was a numbers thing. They saw how the defense was lining up and they thought the play was going to work and they understood it was going to be a quick play. You know, I hear it, well, I say we always, but I've heard a lot of, we don't run quick play because we don't run quick slants. Well, quick slants aren't the only quick play. This is a quick play. We get Jaheim out of the backfield quickly, slides through, and we dump the ball off to him. Uh, I think maybe there was a tendency that maybe we had picked up on that Vandy was blitzing or something on 3rd downs. They probably felt like a blitz was coming in and they knew this might work. Um, and so we get Bell out there. Now, I come back. I want to see this happen more frequently where Bell's in the backfield when Marshawn's back there as well, and Bell is sliding out of the backfield for these passes. I called for that earlier this year. I thought that's where Marcus Satterfield was running with things when I did my formations breakdown after the Arkansas game. I thought we had some genius things going on. I thought we were going to continue building on those, and we didn't. My concern from the Vandy game is, yeah, Bell got touches, but he got Marshawn's touches. It's not that he got the plays because we found a way to incorporate him into the game. This same play would have been going to Marshawn Lloyd had Marshawn Lloyd been in there. That does scare me a little bit that what happens this next week when Marshawn's back, hopefully Marshawn's back. We're going to need him. But when Marshawn's back, and are we going to get Jaheim Bell in the game in other ways? Or is it, oh, we don't need him unless he's playing in the backfield. That brings me back to that last play with, Nate Adkins. Like, why couldn't Bell have been in there for that play? You can't tell me that Nate Adkins was the better um, slot receiver in that situation, So, and this is a little swing pass out of the backfield, and swing passes, hey, look, they work in the right situations. They work in the right situations. I would much rather see this than a forced play downfield or anything like that, and a safe play in a long down situation. I'm fine with this. Look how much open field there is here. So I feel like they knew something was up, and they knew that the field was about to be wide open in the middle right here. Okay, I mean, hell, Wells could have made this pass. We could have made this pass to Wells, and it could have been just as big. I do feel like Wells. That's the second time I've seen Wells. I feel like out of position somehow on a pass play or something that wasn't coming to him. Like he maybe should have been out in front of Bell just a little bit more. It wasn't. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know exactly how that was designed, so I can't say that too much. Okay, next play, zone read dive. We've seen this a few times today. Or in this game. I mean, it's just, it's a zone read dive. It's what it is. I mean, it could be a gap. We do a lot of zone read. I feel like this could have been a gap. Let me look. Let me see if I can break that down. It's hard to tell. I think this might have just been a gap run scheme, but I'm not going to sit here and guess at it. It's a little easier to tell for me sometimes by how the back is acting in the backfield, and this isn't a normal back. He's not. It's easier for me to tell when it's Marshawn because of how he's gotten patient with his zone reads to where, you'll see him delay in the backfield a little bit more than he was in the first few games of the season. And like I had pointed out before, I feel like that was a big difference in, his productivity. So harder for me to tell when, if it's not Marshawn right now. All right, here we go again. Another little swing pass. Trying to get Jaheim into the play calling, guys. I hear another swing pass. Well, we get good yardage out of it. I feel like we could have got more. I will say this: I'm watching big guys like Austin Stogner and Jaheim Bell trying to jump over guys. Jaheim, lower your damn shoulder, sir. Put the boom on this little defensive back. I mean, he is going low. Cut around him. I don't know. Maybe he wouldn't go low if he weren't coming directly at him. Maybe take off towards the sideline. And I think Jaheim could have got a little bit more out of this if he didn't try to jump over this guy or he tried to do a little bit different. But I can't second guess that. But I hate to see Jaheim get tossed. That's scary watching our big guy get hit in the legs, get flipped over. You get what I'm saying there. So I'd like to see a little bit different. And I've seen him and Austin Stogner trying to do that kind of stuff, and it gets a little scary at times. But no, and nothing. I'm not going to fault the play call when it worked. I can't fault the play call when it works. You can sort of right, I guess, because you'd be like, well, we're starting to show a tendency. But we've mixed it in pretty well, and I think that's been a big difference in this game is mixing it in. And let's recall, actually, I say a couple of stalls on this drive, on our drives in the second half. But the first one was, like I said, Brooks didn't get the first down. The second one I was pointing to was actually on this drive, and I believe this is actually our scoring drive. So we didn't get stalled out. The penalty didn't hurt us, and we go on and I'm pretty sure score on this possession. So. Okay, I'm actually going to come back to this play real quick because actually at the end of it there was a penalty. I didn't even notice that, and so when I got to the next play, I had to come back and look because we ended up in the second 20 situation. I guess there was a hold or something, and it erased that Jaheim Bell gain. So once again, a drive stalling penalty. And we turn around, and this is a halfback screen, and unfortunately, I've seen this a few times where it's a halfback screen, and our halfback just doesn't find his way through. What is he doing here? Why is he here? This is on Juju. I could say I fault the play calling, maybe. Why are we, but we actually haven't run a lot of halfback screens in the game, so those are good plays, and Juju's good at them when he gets the ball and gets out in space, but he didn't get to the position he was supposed to. Spencer just has to toss it at his feet so we don't lose yards here. Good job by Spencer to not allow us to lose yards. I don't understand. This is not the first time I've seen where, our tailback just didn't get out of the backfield on a screenplay. And you can't blame that on Marcus Satterfield, and you can't blame that on Spencer. This is 100% on Juju right there. I love that kid. So, it's like, I point fingers at stuff, guys. It's not because I think the player's bad or anything like that. Always keep that in mind. I love all of these kids on this team. They're great. At times I've been a little critical on Spencer. I know he's the quarterback. Everything starts with him. So, of course, I'm going to be critical on him, and then I've been more critical on the coordinators and the coaches. The players, man, the players are doing great a lot of times and taking heat and things sometimes when they shouldn't. So, yeah, or in some situations the players mess up and the OC takes the heat. This play should have worked better. These guys are in a zone coverage. If Juju gets to where he was supposed to be, which is somewhere out here, he's got the blockers in front of him. So anyway, next play. All right, so on this play, obviously the drive just got really set back by a penalty, and then, Juju not getting getting in position for his screen pass. We're gonna watch Spencer here. This ends up being a scramble by Spencer. I can't say anything about where Spencer's really looking because all of his receivers are on one side of the field. I will say that we got to be careful with that, to where we're not limiting ourselves to one side of the field too often. Um, but pocket's holding. There's no pressure. Spencer just takes off. I think it's just he sees a lot of field in front of him, and the guys are all on one side, probably getting covered. Yeah, he's open over here. Spencer probably could throw it to him, but is the result of the play going to be much different? You know, certainly I like to see this guy, as a playmaker over Spencer. I think this is Van. You know, I'm going to say as a ball carrier or somebody with the ball in their hand running, Van, all of our wide receivers are better at that than Spencer. But I've also said Spencer can run. He's fast, and he does. This time, Spencer makes a decision, and I like this. He makes a decision. He's going to run it, and he's not trotting around a little bit, kind of half running to see if he can extend the play even more. He sees green grass. He pulls the ball down, and he goes into a full sprint and gets as much yards as he can. I'd like to see him slide there. He wasn't going to get the first down. Now I have said I would like to see Spencer, when he's doing these, maybe take off for the sidelines. He kind of runs. He pretty much just runs full steam ahead. He might could have cut towards an angle and got some more yards. I'm not going to fault anything on this play from Spencer, the coordinator, or anything. It was the two previous plays that got us into this situation. So, I'm not. I can't put point. I cannot point fingers at the play calling or at Spencer on this. Yeah, like I said, hey, the guy's a little open over here, but these guys were close. Would have passing this ball resulted in any more yardage than Spencer got us? Probably not. Okay, the only thing I'm gonna fault here is I'd love to see Spencer slide. I don't like how he goes head first into things. He just puts his head down and just he's not leading with his shoulder. He's leading with his head. And it scares me, and the coaches really got to get a handle on that. That's neck injury city right there, guys. So. All right, and Spencer obviously got us into a position where we could go for a field goal, but we decided to take fake. We all know this play. I mean, special teams comes in and does it again. Now, do I agree that this was the right call in the situation? Hey, that's a debatable question, right? Should we have taken the field goal? Should we have gone for this fake in this situation? You know, do I think Mitch Jeter can make the field goal? Absolutely. I would like to see him get more opportunities from these long ranges so that when, a game comes down to the wire, we have him, but, that he's comfortable at those ranges in those situations. But I'm not going to fault anything here and say, hey, this was a bad call when it worked, once again. And if you hear Deemer talk about it, he says, well, we practiced it. We were looking for a certain look against Vandy to make this play work, and we saw it earlier in the game, and this time we decided to go ahead and take it. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so on this one, once again, and this is a tendency thing that I was just talking about earlier, is Jaheim Bell goes in motion. Okay, and our target a lot of times becomes the guy that was in motion. And we're gonna have to have some tendency breaker on that because they just end up keying in on them. And it's a screen pass. We haven't thrown so many wide receiver screens this game, guys. So I don't want to hear, oh, too many wide receiver screens. Was this the right situation? Yeah. I mean, sure, why not? I mean, there's not. We have some number, we don't have numbers out there. I mean, it's not a bad thing. We're trying to get Jaheim Bell the ball. It's just, once again, every time we put the guy in motion, it starts to make a target on him, and the ball always goes there. He could have went in motion, and we could have done something totally different there, So, it's easier to pick at the play because it didn't work, right? All right, so we get one of our favorite players in once again. DK is in, and he gets the ball on like kind of wildcat formation deal. I mean, it's kind of hard to call DK a wildcat formation considering he's a quarterback. Guy's quarterback. He's not a wildcat quarterback. He is a quarterback. Just because he's also been playing wide receiver, does not make him not a quarterback. Savell Newton was a quarterback and played receiver and defensive back. He was a football player. Kerryon Joyner can do it all. I had made some comments that maybe the reason we're not seeing a lot of DK and why he didn't transfer is maybe he's not really considering going pro. Maybe he doesn't feel like that's, he's going to get drafted or something like that. But I think the kid could play in the pros. Is it at quarterback? Necessarily no. Is it why? I don't know. But I mean, the guy's a football player, and he is a physical stud football player. I think he could fit in somewhere, but is that going to happen? With his limited, reps and stuff and snaps in this season, I don't know, and certainly if that's what he wanted to do, and he's not getting the playing time, and that cost him, yeah, I'd be very unhappy with the coaching in that scenario. At the same time, I don't know what that deal is. I don't know that he was planning on going. And then we get a holding call, blows up the play, sets us back. We're getting some penalties on this drive. It's just messing things up. It just keeps happening. I'm trying to look for this holding call. Where was this holding? Please show me the holding. Where's the holding? Where was the holding? Where's the holding? Where's the holding here? I don't see any holding on that play, not anywhere near that play. But okay, whatever. We'll run with it. Now the result of the play is a touchdown. I'm a little scary of this one because it does come over a couple of defenders' hands, but I mean that's that. Spencer Rattler's an amazing quarterback, right? That's what we're expecting to see. And I guess the biggest reason it scares me is more because I've seen some inconsistencies out of Spencer in his accuracy this year, but he makes a great throw here. Wells was on a post route, and we get the touchdown, which is great because we've had so many setbacks on this drive. We had so many unnecessary setbacks on this drive. Like I said, the last play, I didn't see the holding call. I didn't see a holding call on that last play. They'd have to go back and show me where that holding was specifically. But let's look at Spencer Rattler's head real quick. He is kind of locked in. I think he was really looking for Wells here, but it could have been that he saw him open, how it was going and how the play was developing, and that was the best target. He looks a little locked in on Wells. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to pull the punch here. It's it's definitely a critique I'm having of him. But he could have been, I don't really see him check off the pressure or anything either. Just kind of his head just fixed in one direction. But it worked, and he got the pass off, and that's fine. So we're gonna keep rolling. Okay, I'm gonna keep this simple and keep it rolling. Pocket holds up. Jalen Brooks gets down the field, gets into the middle of the field. This is 2 plays in a row now. We've seen him in the middle of the field. So, Spencer's working on, I think Spencer is trying hard to work on finding his midfield targets better, Now let me bring this back and see where all he looks to. He does look kind of locked in. And that's that one critique I keep having is, so is this because, this is a design play specifically trying to open Brooks up in the middle of the field, and so he found him because he was supposed to, was it the same thing with Wells because he was locked in on him, that last time as well, I don't know, or is Marcus Satterfield having to come back and be like, look, this is the target on this play so that he's finding a little bit more midfield targets, potentially. So I don't know, I can't say that for sure. I don't know what the play call was. I don't know that that's what he's been told, is that this is your target on this play. This is how it's going to open up. We're designing it for this, blah, blah, blah. But he's definitely not looking, from side to side, so. While the result of this play is only like about a 4-yard gain or so, I love it. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, the only difference being is obviously with Marshawn out, this is, oh, sorry. And they got 4 on that. It's an empty backfield set here. So, I'd like to see this with, without the empty backfield set. But once again, if we go back to my formations breakdown that I did after the Arkansas game, this is what I talked about, was that Jaheim is very versatile for us. That he can line up in the slot, he can line up on the end, he can, shift in the middle of that and go to, come back into the backfield, or that he could be in the backfield and shift up to the line or shift out into the coverage or into the passing routes and stuff. So, in that concept alone, I love that, because this is some of the stuff I was expecting to see with Jaheim. Now, like I said, the question is do we see this again with Marshawn standing on the other side right here? Can we put Marshawn here and let him lead block on this same play, and take Nate Atkins out, or leave Nate Atkins in and take, maybe this is Brown right here. I can't tell right this minute, but take somebody else out, have Marshawn in, and have done the same type of play. Okay, so I would like to see that next. So that's I'm going to be looking for that going for, not in this game, but going forward into the next games. Is Marcus Satterfield getting back to utilizing Jaheim Bell the way I thought he was going to do at the beginning of the season? What more is there to say here? We put DK in the backfield again. I mean, Nate Atkins gets a block, the hole opens up, the O-line opens up the holes, DK goes and makes the first down. Boom, done. I can move on, right? We don't need to address this play too much. It's beautiful. You know what? Here's what I'm going to address. I was worried that Marcus Satterfield didn't keep his creativity up into the second half, and that was what had slowed us down. That last possession we had ate up a lot of the clock. I mean, wow. That last scoring drive ate up so much of the clock, because we move it forward and we get the penalty backwards. There was a lot of clock eaten up on that drive. So that's possibly where our offensive production went in the second half. Lord Jesus, it only gets better. Okay, I don't know what ends up stopping this drive. At some point, we don't score here. I know we give the ball back. Lord, this utilization gets better, because now guess what we do have? We got a running back in the backfield. And Jaheim's gonna go on a jet sweep here. A jet sweep! Jet sweep! Woo! If you can see me, I got my hands up in the air and I am celebrating y'all. Listen, I've been waiting for this. Marcus Satterfield's looking great. Marcus Satterfield's looking great this game, guys. Clay Collins looking good. Spencer's looking good. I know it's Vandy, but it is how they are doing things. If they keep this up, if the play calling looks like this, and creative like this, and personnel utilization like this in Florida, we beat them. We beat them. Well, except for one other thing. The defense is going to have to get some damn stops in Florida. Okay? They got more first downs than we do. Keep that in mind. Okay? But as far as our offense is really clicking in this game, guys. It's not just a Vandy thing. It's play calling, how he's mixing it up, and utilizing his personnel. I mean, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's good. It looks good. And nothing to say on this play. I mean, It's a 2nd and 1. I mean, maybe we could have tried to for something like a play action here, considering it was a 2nd and 1, and try to get a bigger play. I don't want to. I don't want to see us rest on our laurels because we have a 17-point lead. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, we go get the first down. What's there to say about it? They are completely. I mean, they're stacked in the box, but so are we. I mean, we've got a lot of our guys, all of our whole teams in the box. So is theirs basically. So our guys the blocks and the necessary push they need to get the 1 yard, get the first down, keep the drive moving. So if you look at the clock here, we are melting it down, and we need that. So that's good. That's good. Let's go. It's next. All right. I'm going to come back on Spencer here, guys, because I feel like he's locking in again. Forcing this play is unnecessary because it'd be really nice to keep this drive going and eat up more clock and not let Vandy have another chance at this. There's no rush here. The pocket's holding. There's no rush. There's no rush. There's no rush. He could have even potentially took off on another play. He could have. Look at all the green grass in between him and out here. He could have gone out in front of the pocket and ran for the first down right here. I'm not happy with the choice by Spencer here. It doesn't look like he really looked for another target. Looks like he was basically looking for, well, maybe it looked like for a split second he looked off to the right. Like maybe he was looking for Brooks right here. He needed to step up here, take his time, maybe run it, take his time to find a different target. This was forced. I'm not going to cut your slack on this one. This is too big of a time in the game right now to be forcing a pass downfield when we need to keep the sticks moving and keep Vandy off the field. So Spencer, not happy on this play, buddy. Not happy on. Be surprised if the coaches weren't telling you the same thing. The play calling, we've seen this a lot this year. We've seen Jalen Brooks on this, and this is going to be kind of like they're trying to get our little rub route here. They're trying to get Juju. We've seen it where Marshawn's been there, and it was Jalen Brooks. It's literally almost, it's probably, I wouldn't doubt if it was the exact same play that we've seen Jalen Brooks hit. I feel like maybe, right there. Okay, let's go back here. Right there. Josh maybe is trying to do too much. You kind of see that stutter right there? He didn't have time for that. He needed to be on a full sprint and try to go get the first down. We don't have time for that little stutter step and hesitation right there. Now, I'm not saying he would have got the first down without it, but yeah, we don't have time for that. You know what I mean? Go get as much as you can. We don't have time for that. This play is worked for us with Jalen Brooks several times, and this year. It's not exactly identical because those Jalen Brooks plays a lot of the times. All the players were on the other side. I feel like every time, but it's a similar play to those plays though. It's get one guy going across, and then it's a drag route basically, and you're trying to clear out all the defenders. It's not that I don't like the play. We haven't really seen that a lot in this game. I'm okay with the play call. It's just hard for me to sit here and go, oh, the play call was bad or anything. Spencer certainly doesn't get a lot of time on this one. Okay, definitely, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's man on man in the like they send 5. We've got 5 O-linemen, So it's like they shifted the wrong way. Okay, because this guy ends up with nobody to block. And I guess what throws that off is he's looking to block this guy who looks like he's coming in on a blitz. And then he's not blitzing. And this guy came in on the blitz. So, I mean, it's just, You know, that's the blitz package there. I don't want to. I'm not going to put this on our O lineman as much as, hey, Vandy had a good little. They dialed up a good little blitz package on this third down. You know, to where it freed up a hole here, and you know, and they got through. I don't want to put that. You know, I mean, obviously at this point he didn't keep the block on this guy. It was this is the guy he was blocking. He let him get through. So you know, these guys are starting to come through as well. You know, but it's kind of like a domino effect sometimes. Like, you know, if one block didn't get picked up, it just kind of throws the line off. And, you know, so I'm not, you know, I'm going to be, line's done fine. This whole game, the line has done just fine keeping the pressure off of Spencer. He's had clean pockets and all that. So let's move on. Okay, so it looked like we were going to go for it. And then there's like, I guess we run out of time or whatever, and we decide not to go for it after the timeout, and we punt it. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, we punted it. Yeah, after we came. So on this play, they almost were going to give delay a game. They call a timeout, and they decide, hey, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and punt it. I don't know if they were looking here to just get a, you know, try to get a offside, but it wouldn't make sense for Spencer to call a timeout if that was the case. So whatever happened, they decided after the timeout to punt the ball away. So, you know, the way that drive stalled out, you know, it was, for me, it was the one play downfield that Spencer forced that was the changer on that drive, you know. And I'm not, so it wasn't a calling issue from the offensive coordinator's, you know, side. Could they have done a different play call on the third down, you know, or not? Yeah, yeah, the third down, right? Because it was the play Josh Fan, and Josh got 5 yards out of that. I wanted, you know, I thought maybe he could have got more, but maybe he wouldn't have got enough either way, you know. I'm not going to fault the play calling. You know, it could have been something different. Maybe it should have been something different. But those plays have worked for us. That play has worked for us a lot. So it's hard to go back and second guess that when it's a play that's worked for us in those situations before. So and the mix up of it, you know, like it wasn't the same receiver. This time it was Josh Van, you know, versus Jalen Brooks. So, you know, I mean, I feel like the one bad play in this drive was Spencer forcing it downfield, and I'm not going to call that, you know, like game changing or hey, Spencer had a bad game because of one play. He's played great, you know. He has locked in a couple of times, I felt, but you know, hey, uh, it is what it is. There, I mean, this is definitely for me not a play calling game issue. I will talk about a few issues as far as play calling or whatnot at the end of this when I do my final thoughts. All right, we have another nice run, but we get another holding call here. I'm not sure where. I didn't see, you know, I didn't stick around to find out. You know, we got a holding call, and we end up in a first and 17 instead of a second and like 3 or whatever. So, you know, I mean, obviously at this point, a zone dive is a little obvious. You know, zone read dives, you know, it's a little obvious. It's a little bit of a counterplay too. Just, you know, it didn't work. I mean, but at this point in the game, they probably know we're going to be trying to run the ball, you know, and they're kind of keying in on it. I wouldn't mind seeing a play action play here and a rollout. We haven't seen a rollout, a designed rollout since like the first play of the game or whatever. So I'll talk about that, you know. I'll talk about that, you know, when I do my final thoughts. Okay, great play here. You know, could we talk about maybe a lack of some under routes? Let's see here. You know, there's not a lot of looks like only 2 men out. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8 of our guys. We only had three men out in routes. We left a lot of guys back in protection for this particular one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where do these guys go? Wait, it might only be two guys in routes because Atkins comes in. We got 1, 2. You got the 5, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they only had 2 guys out in a passing route. So that's a little for me. In a situation where we need to pass, we didn't put a lot, but guess what? It works out. Spencer, I was like, when I initially watched, I was like, Spencer looked across the field. Well, because he had 2 targets. One was on the left side, one was on the right side. He had to look across the whole field this time, and but he wasn't locked in on one guy. Maybe he got back to the sideline after the play earlier. And coach was like, man, dude, stop. That killed us. You're locked in on somebody, man. Stop. Stop locking in. Take your time. Find the target. He definitely had time. He definitely has time on this play. The pocket's holding. He also had time. It was starting to collapse. They were starting to get through, but they're going to do that. He had enough time in the way his guys were blocking. He could have escaped, out of the pocket potentially if he felt like he needed to. So I'm not hurting on this play. Nothing's hurting my feelings on this play. All right, we're gonna see a few things on this play. Spencer needed to step up in the pocket here. He goes backwards when he should have went forward. And he probably could have leaked out of the front end of the pocket and potentially ran for this, or stepped up, closer up there to make them have to react to him, so his receivers open up. However, you're gonna find out, right? These guys trip each other up. That's a spacing issue there. I've been worried about that on some of our drag routes where we have these double drag routes, like I think what Savell calls the mesh routes or whatever and whatnot. I have to get a clarification on the mesh route. And once again, I'm not on the level of these guys. I know what the different kind of routes are, but like a play, when you call it a mesh play, where it's this type of play where I think what he meant was like it's double drags and something like that. I think it's 2 goes, 2 drags, and a guy coming out the backfield was what he had highlighted for me. It was a mesh route, but um, this play just got blown up. Spencer needed to step up in the pocket. His 2 receivers trip each other up. Just the play went bad. But was it play calling here? Where's the quick slants? Because we're gonna talk about that in a minute. That is the one. That's my critique. That's gonna be a critique I do have in the play calling. But where's the quick slants? The thing that threw this particular possession off was the penalty. We got to keep in mind we were knocked back by a penalty yet again. So most of this second half stalls have been penalties. It hasn't been. Now here's the thing. Those penalties came on plays where somebody ended up getting good yards, but did they get the yards without the penalties? That's hard to say, right? Was the holding necessary? And without me going back and really, really breaking it down, were they ticky-tacky calls? Possibly. Feel like we've been getting a lot of them lately. Definitely saw the one that we were down at the end zone and we got the holding call. Fortunately, we scored on that drive, but the referees weren't kind to us on that from what I could tell. I did stop and try to find a holding call on that play. I just didn't see it. I didn't have the angle. I didn't have other angles. Maybe if I had other angles, I'd have seen it. I don't know. I feel like maybe the refs are getting a little ticky-tacky on us. Once again, like they say, sometimes I feel like the refs just try to keep the other team in the game, keep it interesting. That's not how it's supposed to be done, but that's when you'll hear like conspiracy going, yeah, the game's rigged. It just, I don't know. Is it rigged? No, I don't think it's rigged, but do some referees, maybe have this mental thing, they don't realize they're doing it, but maybe they're trying to give the other team extra chances to keep the game interesting or whatnot. Is that something they're being told to do? Then that would be where the conspiracy part comes in, right? Are they being told to find ways to keep games interesting? And I don't know. It's obviously ratings and all kinds of other stuff to think about, right, guys? So, let's move on. What is there to say here? We get a dive play, get a good 5-6 yards out of it. I mean, what do you say out of that? Let's just move on to the next play, see what happens. I'm not even slowing things down at this point. We're getting close to the end here. Um, let's check it out. Y'all are checking it out more live with me this time. This is the one where it looked like Jaheim ran the wrong way. They talk about it in the replay, but he gets the first down. So, boom, another dive play. We get the first down, 1st and 10. What's going on here? All right. Hey man, push the pot. Put the line pushes. We get some more yards. We keep the clock moving. I mean, it's gonna be obvious that we're trying to just keep the clock moving at this point, not make any mistakes. I'm not gonna say much. I think Marshawn probably gets a little bit different result out of that potentially because he doesn't run into his blocker in front of him like Jaheim does. Because he's a better running back. I mean. Jaheim's not a running back. He's doing a great job of imitating it, though, right? I mean, dude, that kid's amazing. Here, play at the slot position. Here, play at the tight end. Here, play at the fullback position. Here, play at the tailback position. What? So when they said about we're talking about like Debo 2.0, they're not really wrong in some ways. Yeah, he got a good 6 yards there, So where does this drive stall? What happens that stalls this drive out? Let's move this forward. Okay. Okay. Oof. All right. This was definitely one I was critical of because right here, if Leggett turns this inside, he gets the first down. He was trying to do too much here. I feel like tries to end up going to the outside where his blocker doesn't have position. And so, the blocker, actually, I'm seeing that a little differently now. I don't know about this block in the back now. I mean, he was in, it's hard. That's a tough one. And that sets our drive back, though. I mean, I just felt like Leggett could have just turned it inside and got the first right there. But because he doesn't turn it upfield, like right here, you know, he didn't commit to I mean, look how wide of an angle he takes here. Watch. He needs to just right here. He needs to be turning it up. He needs to be looking at this hole where Nate Atkins is going right now. He needs to be turning it up into that hole right now. He's still kind of cutting it out wider, and so his momentum's carrying him out wider, and then it puts the O lineman in an awkward position where he's trying to help not let Leggett get tackled. And so this definitely was a big moment for us right there because we could have kept the clock going. I don't put that on play call. I mean, look at the creative play calling. Check out the reverse play. Hey, look at the play calling's been good all game. I mean, we've mixed it up. We've done different things. It's looked good the whole game, guys. I mean, I know everybody's gonna be like, "There's no way Marcus Satterfield was making these plays, calling these plays," but I mean we've seen similar plays from Marcus this year, so it's hard to say no. Now, obviously, we've gotten behind the chains, and that's the word I was looking for. No, that wasn't the word I was looking for earlier, but we have gotten behind. And we go to a dive play here. They stop it, and we're going to be on a 3rd and long. This is the one. Okay. I guess we're just trying to keep the clock moving. I think they feel like Vandy can't really isn't going to have enough time as long as we keep taking time off the clock that we're going to be able to stop Vandy from you know, I mean, could we have seen a little bit more aggressive play call looking for, but yeah, but at the same time, you want to keep the clock going. If Vandy calls a timeout there, it was their last one, so it's not, it doesn't hurt me that this was the play call here. It does not hurt me that this was the play call here. It's a good, safe call. We put it in our playmaker's hands, and, he just, it is what it is. I mean, they had to be probably looking for run plays at that point, so. Knowing we're trying to keep the clock going. So nothing to say here. Let's move it on. Now this is the one that got me, is because it's 4th and 5. Look how late they're coming out in the huddle. And once again, we're trying to get the ball off. And this time we have no timeouts. And so the ball gets, snapped into Amarian Brown on the jet sweep look. And, he wasn't running the jet sweep either. The ball wasn't going to him. I don't know what the play was going to be. I have no clue what the play was going to be. There's no way to know without them telling, well, this is what we were going to do here, but they don't usually tell us that. So, the fault here is, man, they're coming out of the huddle at 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 7 seconds. And then they got this long developing pre-snap, motion and stuff they got to do. Just, they got out of the huddle at the wrong time. Is that Spencer? Is that the coach? I can't know that. So, definitely blew up the play, but play calling, and this is basically our last play of the game, guys. I mean, because we get it back, and then let me see where we go from here. What we end up doing? Yeah, see, because when we got it back, I think we just were kneeling the ball. The last time, the last possession of the game, we just ended up kneeling the ball. So I'll just leave it here because cute little play. It's not a. While I'm giving my final thoughts. The play calling was really nice this game, guys. I mean, I was even critical and going, hey, let's not overhype what we did against Vandy, okay? And because honestly, we could have probably got more points. We could have had 40, 50 points potentially without a couple of stalls in the second half on some weird things. That weren't play calling or Spencer. One of them was Spencer, like I said, trying to force the ball down the field. But, it just, play calling was good. I mean, let's hope for more of this. Hey, if I saw this every game, if I saw this for the rest of this year, I would be more than happy to have Marcus Satterfield back next year. I ain't going to lie. Because this was a well-called game. Take out the fact that it was Vandy. This was a well-called game. It was mixed. He mixed up reverses and jet sweeps, and he really utilized his personnel better. I like this game, guys. I like what I saw from our play caller. I liked what I liked. There was a few instances where I saw a few of Rattler's tendencies come out. There were some instances where I saw some of Marcus Satterfield's tendencies come out. Like I said, there tends to be this hey, the guy in motion tends to be the guy getting the ball. There's also the, I can't keep looking at this play. We're doing our final thoughts, and we can't have a bad play for our final thoughts. Let me go back to the one where it was Jaheim Bell on a jet sweep if I can find it. But the critique I would have here would be, simply that, were there enough quick slants? No. The man in motion issue. Uh-oh. Frozen it out. We're gonna have blank screen. Sorry, guys. This is what happens when you got old technology. But, the man in motion issue, where it's like if the man in motion is the guy getting the ball, it tends to give the defense something to key in on. Will we see Jaheim Bell get as many touches with Marshawn Lloyd coming back? I don't know. And those are things we're gonna have to worry about. Spencer a few times in the game still had his little tendency to be locked in, but it was much better this game. Very, not the happy feet we've seen in other games. Spencer played a really great game. I think he had the highest QB rating in Power 5 football this past week. So hey, yeah. So Spencer definitely played his best game. And then our tendencies from the OC, looked better. But we still didn't utilize like hardly any quick slants. I'm not sure that I have to go back. We might have had one or two in this game, um, and that's not enough. That's not enough. Um, but hey, it was a well called game. We're gonna let this one ride. You guys, please go like, share, follow. Hopefully, I finish this out before my computer crashes right here because it looks like it's about to. And hopefully, I can keep growing this channel and get a better computer. Right? This is my laptop. I actually have some great gaming machines, but I do this stuff a lot of times off my laptop. So yeah, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, follow, and share. And if you have anything, any more comments or anything, please, any critique of my critique, please send it to me. I'd like to hear it. I do, in defense, like I said, the second half, I was worried about why the second half was so stalled out, and was penalties. It was penalties. So I will admit that my sister called me on an important call in the second half, and so I didn't get to see the second half when it was live. And so until I did these breakdowns like this, I didn't really even see all of the second half. So I didn't get to know exactly why we stalled out until today, really. And that was penalties. So like, follow, share. Peace out, guys.